voice of the round discussion of the Blacklist, the most excellentest episode, episode 8, General Ludd, Matt Moore. Matt Moore. Why is it only looking at me, not talking? That's.
I love that you're the host, but your lower third actually says associate host. But you're the host for this show.
It says ass host.
Cover for you, what was it, last week or was it the week before?
I was just actually thinking about that last week or the week before. It was the damn Google Plus whenever they roll out a new user interface or new features, it doesn't work well for Mac users, so I've heard. But they fix it in a few days and everything's lovely now. And Johan Phillips, hello.
Yes, hello, Todd.
How are you?
I'm very good. This was a
Hi, Isaiah.
great
How are you?
episode.
How you doing, Isaiah Mullins? Welcome to the show.
Oh, now you talk to me. I'm doing great, by the way. It was a good episode. Very, very good episode.
Excellent. And last but not least, with the green bar, Charles Whedon, because he's a fucking rebel.
Yeah, you're damn right, not least. I'm awesome.
Yeah, in his mind he is.
And he is the youngest brother of Joss Whedon.
God damn it, really?
It's like the Baldwins.
Who cares if it's not spelled the same?
Yes, I'm sure people can see that.
And I don't want to hear about Charles's Baldwins. Let's jump into this. Let's jump into this because you know what? I've been excited as balls. This episode blew me away, and the intros. Let's just say, I'm saying right now, every intro, they've knocked it out of the park. This show has a way with intros. What did you guys think?
I thought the intro was really good. It was really cool, very unpredictable. I just wish the CGI was a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. But it was still
the
nice.
CGI is always shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, CGI in the show sucks, Dick. I've gotten used to that by now, though.
Yeah, I thought the intro was great as well. I was kind of hoping that the father and his kid were going to survive the whole falling pieces of the plane.
Yeah, but it would have been impossible if they would survive it. It's going way too fast. But sorry, that's physics right there.
Yeah.
They did stand there a little Austin Powers long.
Until halfway through the episode, I was going to say until halfway through the episode, I thought they did survive it.
Yeah.
I think they did. Yeah.
I started this.
No, they didn't survive. They confirmed that a father and his son had died in the crash later on in the episode.
Yeah,
That's kinda dark. Wow.
Yeah, they died.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little tear goes down my right cheek.
It goes to black people.
And after that opening, what do we have next? And isn't Elizabeth Keene has the call about her father?
You know what, Johan? You can run down the whole episode, actually. Give us all a brief rundown, and then we'll jump into a discussion. But before you do that, I want to say, guest stars. Holy shit on the guest stars this week. William Sadler, Justin Kirk from Weeds, and Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
I was just jumping for joy, and I thought Justin Kirk was a great villain, and there's room for return.
Oh yeah, William Sadler was excellent in the episode.
I think the was good. I thought he was okay, better than the rest.
Yeah, I gotta say this right now. I have no idea who those people are.
William Sadler
and Dice Clay is.
You don't know who Andrew Dice Clay is?
I don't recognize the name. If I saw their face, I might recognize them, but I don't recognize the name.
Hickory Dickory Dock.
Little Boy Blue.
Fucking my.
Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating some curds and whey. Along came a spider, sat down beside her, and said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?" Oh.
And William Sadler, he played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. He was
yeah, it was awesome.
It's been forever since I've seen that movie. I barely remember anything from it.
What?
He was also in Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
Yes.
All right, I think I know who you're talking about in that movie because I recognize the character.
Yeah.
He plays the guy in the biker jacket.
Yeah, the main character, basically.
Well, he died, though.
Yeah.
And the other guy was Uncle Andy Weeds.
Never watched Weeds.
All right, if you never saw Weeds, did you see that?
You need to watch Weeds.
Oh, yeah, I think Weeds is a great show, too.
You missed out.
It was good when it first started, and then it went downhill.
But did you see that brief-lived animal doctor show with the guy and the monkey
No.
and had the sock from Reaper in it? Tyler
Oh yeah,
Labine?
that's right. Tyler Labine was. I knew he was in it, but I never got around to watching that show.
Yeah,
Well,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Either way, we can't
yourself and
describe
I
it to
are
you.
probably
Sorry, I just wanted to
I was
insult
going to say,
Charles
yourself and
a
I
little
are
bit.
probably the only two people who know who Sock is.
Sock. That sounds.
Yo, Reaper was a
Freaking
great
love
show.
Reaper.
I was so pissed when it got canceled.
All right, listen,
Sock.
let's move on.
Yeah.
Johan, give us that rundown. Tell us briefly what today was about, and then we'll get into talking.
Okay. Now you put me on the spot, you son of a bitch.
Well, you wanted it. You were
No,
good
I
to
was
go
just
before.
trying
Bring
to-
back that fire.
I was just saying, okay, well, next didn't Elizabeth Keene then get the call about her father,
Yes.
from her father saying, oh, yeah, I'm back in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh, I should go visit him. And then, Red Reddington visits him in the hospital first.
Well, he's already in the hospital.
Yeah, he's already at the hospital.
The briefest summary of it all is that basically we see her father. Her father's in the hospital for a lung thing. There's this guy, General Ludd, out there who's sort of got a movement based on the Luddites, and he's blowing shit up all over the place, and he's like a chameleon. We've got Red and his interests that only interest him, and we got a lot of answers today. Although I think perhaps a bigger question, referring to your post, Matt, that you mentioned before, I actually think we got more questions than answers, but we'll get into that. And
Sure.
that was pretty much the gist of it. That without jumping to the end.
Yeah.
So now talk about it. When you saw her father, what did you think about that?
I was like, oh, crap, William Sadler.
You're gonna confuse Charles again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're gonna spend the next 20 minutes.
Bite me. The lot of you.
It was it was a very he was in bedridden. He was about to die. Talking to Red Reddington, they were discussing their friendship, and they gave hints that, well, obviously you knew from the beginning that he adopted Elizabeth at 4 years old.
Obviously.
Was
They
that
took her in.
known?
That
Was
was-
that
I
known?
did not know that. I didn't.
It was kind of
Okay,
obvious, though.
I did-
When they showed him in the hospital bed, I thought that was Elizabeth King's biological, the father that
So
raised her
did
against
I.
the whole fire
I know.
at the house thing.
Matt,
I thought that was him.
Matt, you pay attention.
I think it was the first,
Yeah.
second episode they mentioned that she was adopted at 4 years old.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that, and it's been so far back. I was like, you know what? I don't even care.
Yeah, I had long forgotten it. If they did mention that, I had forgotten it. And
I mean,
Wow.
Isaiah, you remember that, right? Did they mention that earlier in the season?
Say
I
no.
went back and watched the first episode, and yeah, they did mention it.
All right, so
Okay.
we find out that we find out that he's gonna die. He wants to tell her something. Now,
Right.
what is it that he wants to tell her? Because I'm thinking it's not that Reddington is the father, because otherwise, why would he have had to kill? I'm thinking they're brothers still. I'm still thinking that, and there's a third brother
No,
yet to
I think
enter the
it-
mix.
I think there's a reason why.
The third brother
Because
is really the father.
I mean, there's a reason why he killed him. He
Why?
wants to make sure. He wants to make sure Elizabeth doesn't know the truth. I mean, come on. He doesn't want
Yeah.
He wants no one to know the truth. That's why he
I've
killed him. Like, he's gonna-
said it once. I've said it many times. I'm going to say it again. Reddington is her father.
Spader
Yeah,
has
yeah,
said.
it's kinda-
Spader has said. I do not think this show is going to be that predictable. That's his a verbatim. Verbatim. That's a paraphrased quote of his.
Well, yeah. Plus,
Yeah,
earlier
how-
in the Stew Maker episode, he takes the picture of the girl out of the
But he's
the photo
also
book.
looking at a picture of another girl at the end of this
That's-
episode. A
well,
redheaded
He
girl.
has two
Yeah.
daughters.
I was gonna
Two,
mention that
maybe
later.
two daughters, or maybe they're all daughters of. Maybe they're all daughters of the guy, the hunter from next week. Whoever's hunting Reddington in next week's episode, the one who I thought was Ben Kingsley. Whoever that is, maybe he's after the three daughters, and Elizabeth is the third daughter. But whose daughters are they? I'm not
I
sure
think
they're
they're all
Reddington.
Red
That's too much of a
Reddington.
stretch, though.
I
That's too much of
so
a stretch,
wanted
though.
wild speculation. now. You are bringing like these wild like stories. I so want to go just hog wild on wild speculation.
Go hog
Can
wild.
we save this? Can we save this until? Do we not?
We can. So let's all
It's a
right.
freaking-
Let's button that up for a minute and let's move on to the next scene or continuing on that scene. Do you guys at first know? Did you guys think that it looked like Reddington was like William Sadler was scared to see Reddington when they first showed him in the hospital?
No, not really. He just felt like that guy who he was holding a secret back from her. That was like that guilt a little bit. He wanted to tell Elizabeth the truth, but knowing Red, he would not let him do it. So that's why I felt like it was kind of guilt and fear.
See, this is hard to not speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a speculation-inducing episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
And plus, how Red was pretty much treating, well, he's not treating, but saying all these fatherly words to Elizabeth's fiance or husband or whatever you want to call his name.
Tom.
And it was like, Tom. I don't care about his name. Let's say fiance. Who I don't care about his name. I'll say about his title.
I
Anyway.
finally got it today.
It's the reason they have the same last name.
Anyways.
If you have to, go with Mr. Keene.
I don't care. He's just a nobody to me.
You know, that threw me for a loop, though, that scene, when Reddington and him sat down, because if Tom is all who who were being
Those
led
two
to
guys
believe
are watching.
they be, if Tom is this bad guy, then you would think he would know who Reddington is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that
No! I watched that scene 3 times. He knows who Reddington is.
There did seem to be. I know, especially towards the end when he was like, "I hope you're right." It seemed like they both knew who they were, and they were both pretending they're just a random encounter. They were like utilizing that moment, and I think a lot of those moments are going to come back in the season finale, like the money from today's episode, like the Chinese men from the end of the second, might have been the end of the first episode. Where do you think Batista could come back?
Well, he made that crazy deal he made with him back in the last episode. What was it? Yeah, it was last episode about how to get nuclear. Wasn't it? Yeah, nuclear stuff.
Yeah, if that's still left open, then I feel like that's going to be all revealed, because Reddington's definitely got this major plan, and that line, and the Blacklist official site, they put out a GIF showing showing the same line where he says, "I have no interest in things I have no interest in."
Right.
So it's all a really big game.
Right.
Let me throw something out there real quick. I just want to mention that today on Maria Quibbin's Hangouts, I actually spoke with Ryan Eggold, who plays Tom King. And,
damn it, I missed that one. I would
is
have
aware
talked
of
about
this
90210. What?
He is aware of this hangout, and he knows where to find it. So he might see this hangout.
Hello, Mr. Matthews.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because I pimp our stuff, even on Maria's stuff.
Yeah, Maria has a lot of great interviews.
Well, off subject, I do want to say somebody kind of spoiled it for me, because when you mentioned another hangout, it reminded me. I won't say this person's name, but some terrible, terrible person in the Blacklist community spoiled it. They posted right away a picture of Darth Vader with James Spader's face, and it says, "Lizzie, I am your father." But it's not really a spoiler, because again, I don't think they made that clear. But one of you were saying before, you do think they made it clear?
Yeah, to me they did.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Anyone else agree with Isaiah?
I have to agree with and Charles on this. Is I think the show is going to stay away from being predictable in some ways. I think we're up to something that is going to amaze us, but that is not the lineage of Elizabeth Keene. I think Elizabeth's lineage is going to be predictable. I think we predicted it quite well. Yeah,
it's pretty much impossible now, because why was Red doing all these things for Elizabeth? if in possible ways because that's pretty much our
Yeah,
father.
and I mean, I know this is going a little bit ahead, but one of the things that kind of confirmed it for me was I don't know if I should jump this far ahead, but
Do it.
yeah, after Reddington kills Keen's adoptive father, smothers him with the pillow, and then how he's reacting, how he's like, what's how he's
Yeah, he
moved.
reacted like a brother would react having to kill a brother.
Well, no, it's just how he was reacting around Elizabeth Keene, how he was like saying like, "Is there anything I can do for you?" Or like talk about him for me, or just like, "Can I do something for you?" It just that kind of felt like
Again,
a
I'm sorry to
parental
interrupt
concern.
you, Charles. You said that right there. Talk about him to me. When that confirmed to me that that was his brother he killed, that Elizabeth's father, adoptive father, was Reddington's brother because he wanted to hear stories about this guy. So, I mean, that leaves you with a few options. They were best friends, but how best of friends can you be when you're these kind of people? And you
I
know,
mean, he could be.
I-
It could be brother. That's only like the other way it can go around it.
yeah,
as well,
because best friends, that's not that great. It's not that compelling. They could have
No.
been gay lovers. That's a little bit weird. There's nothing
That
wrong
was
with
very-
it. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it, but it's a bit of a jump
The story won't make any
for
sense.
this
Yeah,
kind of
I don't
show.
think that's it.
Yeah.
The only other option I see is brothers, and he had a real love for that man, and he wanted to hear stories from her. That was his way of learning about his brother, who
Yeah,
he
that's
just.
why Ray had. That's why Ray was kind of broken up by how he killed it. He killed him. Like
Yeah.
he was very broken up.
Yeah,
He didn't
but
want to, but he had to.
his attitude towards Elizabeth Keene after she had found out about what happened to him, it felt like parental concern. That's what
Very
it felt
much.
like to me.
And that swing set he
Parental
was on.
or the concern of a loving uncle who
Nah.
knows the third father is somebody really horrible or
Damn
something.
it, I say parental concern.
Because
No,
that swing.
no.
That is final.
Since we're gonna break out with the wild speculations early, it's pretty simple. It's his. That's either his brother or his best. Either one. It might as well be his brother. They've
Right.
shared a lot of experience with each other, and they backed this up in this particular episode. And this is Elizabeth Keene is Red Reddington's daughter, and Red Reddington had this guy take care of her for him, and that's
Yeah,
why he
they
did
were
it.
land.
It's that simple. And that way, he still wants to hear the stories because this guy's either his best friend or his brother.
Uh-huh.
He loves this man, and he still spends a large majority of time of their formative years together. I mean,
So
it's that simple. You have to go with the simplest answer, and that's the
Yeah, it
simplest
can't be
answer.
too. It can't be too complex.
Who's betting a shit milkshake on this?
A shit milkshake.
Like the one I did
What,
for
what kind of
Dexter.
milkshake did you end up drinking?
I ended up
What kind of
drinking.
milkshake did you
I
end up
ended
drinking?
up drinking something worse than imaginable because I didn't get to the store to get ice cream. I happened to have been eating Mexican food earlier, and mind you, it was 11 p.m. here, and I had a cup of coffee on my desk from the morning. And I took the Tabasco sauce that was sitting from the Mexican, and I filled up the other half of this rotten coffee cup, and I chugged it all down, and I almost vomited. It was a glorious moment.
That was disgusting.
So
That was
I don't
funny.
think you want to match that, but your ranch and vanilla. Who wants to bet? I'm still betting it's the uncle. I'll drink something disgusting against whoever else of you wants to put your money where your mouth is. Put your.
If I turn out to be wrong, I am not drinking a
So
shit milkshake.
our theory is father. Your theory is not.
My theory is not the father. Yes.
Okay, you gotta drink vanilla and ketchup shake.
Okay,
Ooh.
so you're taking me on this bet, Johan.
And if it's not that,
You're taking me on the bet then.
if Red Reddington, wait, I have to drink it if I'm wrong, right?
Right. If Red
Right.
Reddington is the father, if Red is the father, I drink it. If Red is not the father, you drink it.
I ain't drinking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too.
Yeah.
That's too
no,
hard for me, man.
No, I'm not doing that. Never mind.
No,
Forget this.
I
bet.
will. I
You
will.
will.
And you know what? I will do the bet as I had proposed before because you would not get specific. I'll get specific. I'll do the chocolate and ranch one that I proposed for you. If
Okay.
Elizabeth Keene has Red Reddington's DNA outside of Uncle. Uncle doesn't count. You said Uncle. If Reddington in some way is father, then I will drink a ranch and what did I say? Ranch and chocolate?
Chocolate.
No,
So
you said
wasn't it
I
ranch
thought you said
and
ranch and Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ice cream.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll go to a car and get a peanut butter cup shake. I'll let someone drink half of it, and I'll put ranch dressing in the other half.
If Red is the father.
What is this, Maury now?
Ugh.
No, wait.
You
No,
are
if
the father.
Red is not the
No,
father.
if Red is not the father.
Okay, and
Yeah.
if Red is the father, I drink it.
Yeah,
Oh wow, this is like Maury.
you gotta drink
Okay.
that shit.
You heard it here,
The reason
folks.
I want to go with that particular mix, and the reason I gave this particular mix to you, is they're both baked, and they won't cause you to puke. They just taste really awful.
So we suspect, although remember I thought you were going to say this, your original explanation was that ranch dressing goes with everything except for
God.
this.
That makes sense here. Yeah.
But I think it might be good. So that's it. The Great Blacklist Shit Shake Showdown.
Oh, it's going down.
It's gonna be fun.
Shit
All right,
Shake 2013.
And if we do not know by the end of this season, can we call it a draw?
Yeah, we'll call it a draw. At the end of the season, if they don't tell us,
They're gonna drag it out. Sadly, they're gonna drag it out to next season.
Oh God, yeah, probably.
we'll allow a modifier round, and then if we can't agree upon a modifier, we'll call it off.
Wait, did they get picked up for a second season
Okay.
yet?
I'm not sure, but they got picked up for a full season, and they're doing big in the ratings.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about General Ludd.
He might be Julian
I
Assange.
just want to point out that it topped on Monday night, so there's no way it's not going to get a second season.
I can't imagine it's not, especially since they're using their money on getting good guest stars, still not fucking giving us better explosions, and still won't
Good
stop
CGI.
using the explosions.
Budget's-
But
Budget's still not there yet.
I actually have right in my notes another crap-tastic explosion. But
It was pretty bad.
It was awful.
oh,
Yeah.
by the way, speaking of notes, I had a joke here about the opening scene, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because when the first shoe dropped out of the sky, it just popped in my head.
But this guy it was an interesting villain. He was like related to he reminded me of Julian Assange, but more crazier.
Okay.
It's like a like a chameleon.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on him is while he was very much this scary, dominant, like general type of person, the actual acting that had the actor not any more impressive than you would see him in the TV show Weeds.
Oh no!
Yeah,
he was completely underused as an actor.
Scariness was much more implied than actually acted out.
Yeah, I thought he was
Yeah.
kind of weak in this episode. Like he didn't really, and people really found me as a big threat, like on other villains. They were big threats. However, he was just there. He was like a fart in the wind. Like he's just there.
yeah, exactly.
I agree, but I think they left a great potential for him to come back because he was blowing up his shit. The whole thing was he wanted to rob this armored truck with a bunch
Which is
of
kinda
money.
weak.
Which obviously, I think it's pretty clear. We're going to find out eventually that money that Reddington was printing up was the money that blew up. The real money Reddington's got his hands on, and then he straight fucking jacks the guy. He strong arm robs the guy of that black box.
Yeah, I think so. It was a black guy.
And in that scene, can I actually bitch about that scene real quick?
Please do.
Did
Why you talk about his
when
jacket?
they blew up the money, did you actually look at the?
No, why? What about it?
It was blank. It was blank pieces of paper.
It was.
If you look at that again, that money was not money.
That's
It
what I'm
was
It did
saying.
not even look like money. It
was
was
too big
blank
for money.
pieces of paper.
I'm
was really too
saying
big
that
for
was the
money.
fake money.
There was no green printing. There was nothing. It was a blank piece of paper.
And if they stole it, it wouldn't last that long. Because if you stole that money, they're gonna track you down easily.
Yeah, well, we found out that wasn't the focus of the heist. It was What is
The
it?
printing thing, the chip for the new $100 bill,
Yes.
basic template.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
but
the
that was
printing
kind of a
thing.
stretch.
Yeah, that was the ultimate goal, but he still they did not do the special effects to make the money actually look like money.
Right.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was so sad. And plus,
Supposedly he still blew $500 million into the street,
also,
but they
here's
did
one thing.
not actually do the special effects for that. Rewatch
Also,
the
also, really quickly, that
They
explosion.
just forgot to do the.
That explosion where the people were. I mean, when people get injured when that money exploded, I'm just saying, like, when people be falling down, some people be injured instead of grabbing the money, just
Yeah,
throwing
right.
it out. Like, really?
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I've grown to ignore little nitpicks like that.
Yeah,
But it's
especially in
just,
this show.
yeah, but when you see the money, when you see that type of explosion, that practical explosion, some people get like some feedback, like some negative feedback, like, oh no, there's shrapnel in my leg or something.
No, I don't think it was that type of explosive device. I think it was like maybe a blank explosive, and the only thing it would do is it would just create a blast to blow out the money. And if it was to hit anybody, it would probably blow them on their ass. It wouldn't actually put any shrapnel in
Yeah,
them.
well, we didn't see that though. We didn't see one blow back from the explosion. It was just still standing there, literally,
Well, you are talking about a TV show that is known to have horrible CG effects.
and horrible physics. So yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I've grown to ignore stuff like that.
And also, why would he care about those people anyway? He was going to kill them anyway, or not kill them, because he had blown planes out the sky. Did he explain why he did that anyways?
I don't think
Yeah.
he cared about those people. I think that Spader was being, what's the word, facetious when he was saying, or sarcastic even when he was saying, most people have these beliefs, but they're really about the greed. They're just covering up their greed with their beliefs. I think you're the real deal. And then he mentions, a real Luddite wouldn't be caught dead in a plane. They'd rather go down than go up in that plane or some shit he said. So,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that was what they were saying, is that the guy is just, really, he's just greedy. He doesn't care.
Yeah, but did he really explain why he blew up the plane? Because I got a little bit lost in that translation. Like, why'd you blow up the plane again? I'm confused.
As a distraction, wasn't it?
No, he blew up the plane because he wanted the planes to be grounded, so that the money would end up being transported via ground.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
That's kind of stupid.
Real quick, we have Rose Figtree watching, and she's got a question for us. And this is a very interesting question, and perhaps one of you might like to answer it. Are you guys really geeks? And if so, my understanding of a geek is that you are technology gurus. And in today's oversaturated world of technology, where we all need to become geeks now and then, I have a question about Mac firmware.
Seriously?
What the fuck?
That's not what this show is about.
What?
Yeah, let's like
We
look.
talk about TV shows here.
Yeah.
We talk about nerd stuff too, like anything, but what?
Yeah,
But-
when it comes to technology, I am like horrible.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am like the exact
Yeah.
opposite of tech savvy.
Plus, I don't like
Yeah,
that.
same
We're
here.
probably more of the antisocial and awkward geeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Matt might be able to answer, because I think
Yeah.
he's a tech geek.
Okay, first off, I don't use Apple. Mac isn't really a thing anymore. At least I don't think so. So I don't use Apple. I don't use Mac. I use Android. I know more about Android. I know more about Windows. I even know a little bit about Linux. But I stay away from Apple because Apple's whole idea is it just works and that's it. Period. So you don't really need to know about firmware.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It just works.
I guess so.
And now she just worked with it. Hey, I just heard my name and do have a question. Do you have a question about the Blacklist?
Yes.
Anything but the Blacklist.
Yes, we talk about TV shows here, not technology, damn it.
Okay, Charles, she got it. Now,
Well,
Viola-
we are glad,
Uh,
and she said, sorry to bother. Not a
Oh, no,
bother,
he wasn't a bother.
but she had a laugh, and we are glad.
Yes.
Yes, we had a great laugh.
And that's what the
And we
QA
laughed,
is for.
and we laughed.
Oh boy.
What was that, Matt?
I was saying that's what the QA app is for, is feedback. So while it was not Blacklist, at least we got some feedback. If you have a question about the Blacklist, we'd be happy to answer it.
Watch this segue. Watch this shit. You ready? Feedback, hour back. I'll be back in an hour. Hour back. Get it? Hunchback, hour back. Get it?
Stop.
Yes.
Oh,
Stop.
What the hell are you talking about, Tom?
Andrew
Stop.
Dice Clay. Let's talk about that scene.
Wow.
Now, Charles, who we have
That
to
was an
explain
awesome-
that to, Charles, who is
That was a
12
great
years
scene.
old, that was the greatest segue in the history of the universe, just so you know, into this scene. And by the way, you guys didn't follow, and mostly Charles, because he's 12 and doesn't know who Andrew Dice Clay is.
Wow.
Wait, say a word when you make that finger, Charles. The world can't see you. He was doing this. He was giving me the middle finger. Okay, Andrew Dice Clay was the doctor, the plastic surgeon.
Yes.
What a scene! The way they twisted it around. Now, what I wonder, was that planned in advance, or were they just that good at winging it together?
It was planned in advance.
I think they might have just been that good at winging it together. I they literally have a click together. I think it's familiar. That's why I think that they're father and daughter.
I think Matt is right, except for the last part, but I also see what Isaiah saw, and I think that was due to bad acting on Elizabeth Keene's part, and I guess you guys should know what I feel about her. I still think she's stupid, although she's a little bit better now.
She's not that. To me, she's not that bright. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's kind of got like that dirty look on her face.
Like, really? You're supposed to be an FBI or becoming an FBI agent. You can't be like, I'm sorry.
I'd have to say that Elizabeth Keene kind of reminds me of the actress that plays Charlie in the show Revolution. At the beginning of the show Revolution, the actress that played Charlie, she was horrible. She was
That's
a
the Gus
terrible
Fring
actress.
show, right? That's the Gus Fring show?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I saw the first few episodes,
Yeah,
really
that's
liked
right.
it.
yeah, she was terrible in the show.
Awful.
She's a horrible actress. She's
Okay.
still bad, even in season 2, even though she's doing a little bit better. But I think it's because they told her, hey, you can't come back unless you get acting lessons.
Or pretty much stay in the background.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That is actually my on a few shows. Is if you guys have watched the Tomorrow People, I really do not like the actor who plays the main character in Tomorrow People. But you know what? He's getting. I don't know if he's getting better or I'm getting more used to him.
You're getting
But
used to
either
it.
way,
both.
the show is getting better.
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
goes
it's the
on.
same way with
and
me.
I think that Blacklist.
I can't watch that show anymore. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
the show started out really slow, but I'm starting to get into it. But anyway, back to Blacklist.
Yes, please.
Back to Blacklist. Actually, back to something Matt said before. I believe it was Matt. You were the one who said you think that they know each other, right? Reddington and Tom, when they sat down together. That was you who said that
Yeah,
before, right?
they knew who each other was.
You know what we didn't touch on? That saying, and I agree with you. So then that means that we now are sure enough that he is the agent, right?
Yeah, we don't know we don't know what kind of agent he is though.
I don't know. There's a lot of ambiguity on Tom Keene's side. That's just it. That is what convinces me that Red Reddington is his father, is because of the fact that Tom Keene in that particular scene, basically Red Reddington said, "Hey, father will still be there in the shadows, watching over." Blah blah blah, and I mean, basically threatening
I thought
Tom
about
Keene.
that line. I thought about that line. Just don't forget the rest of what you're going to say. But I thought about that line when he said it, and I said maybe he means the father will act through him, like he will be the instrument of her father from the shadows. Go on.
That's nah.
Yeah,
that's
and that's just it. Is I
sort of
didn't see it
reach.
that way. I saw it as
Sort of a stretch.
her father is still around. Her father is still watching over her.
Yeah, that's how
And,
I got it from too.
Tom Keene knows
Yeah.
that Red Reddington is like
You see how
not only
that-
does he know Red Reddington is, but he knows that his relationship to Elizabeth.
Right. And then you can see how Red was saying it in his own. He said it in a more fatherly, like he just said like in the off distance, like a father would do the monologue, or a child, or someone close to the child's friend, like some of that area. Like comforting.
I just want to point out that when talking to the guy who plays her husband, he pretty much said, like straight out, that Tom is not a good person. That Tom is not an innocent bystander.
Oh,
So,
of course he's not.
Anyone that Tom might still be innocent, watch the Hangout from earlier today. He is not an innocent bystander.
Wait, so that's what he said today?
Sorry, I missed your question. What was it?
That's what Ryan Eggold said today?
Yeah. He said, he's an innocent bystander, except he's not. Like, watch My Fox LA on YouTube. Like, check out the
Right.
Ryan, check out that Hangout, and you'll see what I mean.
Well, I will be.
So yeah.
And those are back on regularly, by the way, Matt? Those Fox LA Hangouts? Because they were off for a while,
Yeah, there was
right?
a couple days where they were off Friday and Monday, but they're back on, yeah.
Cool.
All right, now, what else do you guys want to talk about from this episode? Because we covered the main things. Are there any little nooks we missed?
There was
Red
one-
Ring 10. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the one thing that I did notice is what's going on at that place with, I can't even remember, the other bodyguard for Reddington, the Chinese woman. I can't think of her name. But they were at that house with that blonde woman, and she was putting money through a money sorter.
That's what I was saying. That money, it wasn't money she was putting there. She was printing money. It was fake money they were making, and that is the money that blew up. And we're going to find that out later on. That was one of the interests that interested Reddington.
That was
Right.
counterfeit
Real
money.
And also,
The vibe
No,
that I got from
that
that
was
whole
not the money that blew up.
the vibe that I
No.
got from that whole scene was money laundering.
That's what I thought at first, but they flat out said when they're having that little silly swing moment, right before that moment, they flat out say this woman's the best money printer, counterfeiter. They clarified that for sure for a reason, because we're going to find out eventually that Reddington took that money as well as the black box.
Also, we almost forgot that when Red went to the FBI computer and he saw Elizabeth's picture, it was also telling that he was looking at something at Elizabeth's profile.
No, that wasn't Elizabeth's picture. Talking about when he was looking in the violent criminal database.
No, that was Elizabeth's sister.
Okay.
That was Elizabeth's sister? How do you know that?
I smell speculation.
Is that speculate? I smell dropout.
Bye-bye, Matt.
Motherfucker, how do you keep an idiot in suspense just like this? Because I am suspended.
Oh, man, that's so interesting. I always thought that was Elizabeth. Though. Oh, he's back now.
All right, everybody quit talking about him.
Who cares? I'm still gonna talk about him.
Let's just do like being John Malkovich. Let's all wear Matt Moore masks, and every word we say is Matt Moore, Matt Moore, Matt Moore, Matt Moore, Matt Moore, Matt Moore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you back in here, Matt. And even though your lower third's not up, so go ahead, finish saying your speculation. Go say what you were saying now while you're setting your dang up.
Is my thought is that fuck, like I forgot what I was gonna say.
Good job, Matthew. Good job.
Wow.
He says it was Elizabeth's sister and.
Yes, we're talking about the sister.
The person he was looking up was her sister, and I think he's looking for basically his brood. He found one of his daughters in Elizabeth Keene, and I think he's looking for all of them. If there are only two, there might be only two, but there might be a bunch of them too.
Well, the blonde one from the stew maker.
Yeah, but she's dead, so there might be 3 sisters. One of them might be dead,
Right.
and the other
Right.
2 are still alive. Elizabeth
One's
Kane is
dead.
one, and the other one is missing.
One works for the good guys, and one's a bad guy.
That seems flop. Yeah, that seems like about right.
Yeah.
Violent criminal division.
Dun dun dun.
Violent criminals doing violent things.
That's nothing new.
No. No, not really.
But
All right. Let me see what else I got here in the notes. One bit of annoyance that I had when they were showing the pictures of General Ludd and that guy with that huge cartoon nose that was about half a foot wide, and they were like,
What was that
they were
all
just,
about?
the dialogue was stupid, everything was stupid. They're like, okay, Justin Kirk is this guy, but he's also this guy, and then they're holding the 2 pictures up, and then they show the other face that looks clearly exactly the same as the other faces with a friggin' fake nose. And they're like, how could this be?
yeah, I think the writing well, for the most part, if it's not with Jason Spader, I think I'll say his name wrong, but
James?
whatever. Anyways, I think for the writing for the most part, it's kind of weak in my book. It's not strong enough unless you have Red in it. Red is his acting and dialogue is more strong than pretty much the rest of the show. Yeah, the rest of the show. And
He does carry. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. James Spader carries the show. His charisma definitely holds the audience's attention.
Yeah.
I think.
And also,
Yeah, James Spader is great in anything, actually.
Does anyone even like Elizabeth? Does anyone even like Elizabeth? Because I really don't find her that interesting. She's really boring.
She's
for me to
okay.
watch.
I mean, she's not the rock of the show, but she's okay.
I don't, but before we retread that, let me ask you this, because I see this here. Who is this Hudson that the husband mentioned? He said to her on the phone, to Elizabeth, he says, I got Ellie to watch Hudson. Who is Hudson?
I actually got the feeling that it was a dog.
I would assume it's a dog because they don't have a
Yes.
kid, but I don't remember them having a dog at all. And what the hell would be the point to, like, okay, we've never shown a dog in all 8 episodes, but let's make sure so that the viewers, you know, they don't say, hey, what did they do with their dog? I just thought that was an odd.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen a dog on the show. At least not with them.
And who the fuck is Ellie for that matter? That's
Oh wait,
like,
no, the Stewmaker
like-
had a dog. Maybe they took the Stewmaker's dog in.
well, that has something. No.
Nah,
No.
that's too much of a stretch. They had a goldfish. They had a goldfish, and just said, "Ooh, a goldfish." And
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what the hell was that about? I do remember that. I also remember that, and I'm like, who's Humphrey?
Hudson.
Hudson,
Humphrey.
whatever.
You know, it was
No,
that scene was
no,
like when
it's
somebody
Humphrey.
walks into a room, like someone walks into a room and they start talking about a bunch of people you don't know about, but they're talking about them by the first name and like you should know about them. Like, oh man, I was over at Jimmy's house and we were hanging out with Ellie and Hudson and yeah, blah blah blah. Can you believe Hudson has a new job? And you're just sitting there like, who the fuck are these people, weirdo? That's how I felt with that scene. And we lost Matt again.
Oh, Matt.
that's nothing new.
So what else you guys got? Anything else? Because I think we covered it all.
I
My
got
notes
nothing.
are all.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
We've spoken everything. I loved this episode. I am saying this episode is actually it's better than the Stew Maker because when I'm blown away by an episode, they seem to like a few weeks later they'll blow me away even more with another episode. So each really good episode is better than the last to me.
This episode was good, but it was only good because of the whole secret behind Elizabeth's father and stuff like that. But the main plot I didn't really care for. However, it was still a good episode in the end.
I agree, but I also really cared. I loved the main plot, and I don't know if I tried to say this before. Don't know if I did. I really hope we have a great way for General Ludd to come back. He's angry now. He wants revenge on Reddington, and
Something like that.
they got a good actor. That this is an NBC show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, NBC they're in the Justin Kirk business because they're the ones who ran his sitcom After Weeds. So they bought him up then. They might want to use him as a recurring character, you know. And I'm hoping for that. Matt, you got dropped out. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up before we went into wild speculations officially?
No. Everything else I have is wild speculation.
All right, then why don't you start it?
All right, I think it's Elizabeth Keene and sister and whatever, blah, 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 was part of some genetic raffle. The reason I said that in some way that Red Reddington is her father is because I think that maybe he is not her father. I think there is some sort of, like, maybe sci-fi component where it was like a bunch of people were trying to create Ubermenches.
Wow.
Okay.
Bitch, beat that. Go ahead and go crazier than that.
Okay, I got one. My speculation is
You can't beat Ubermensch. You can't do it.
That's what they always say to me. Ubermensch, Ubermensch. Anyways, I think Elizabeth is Red's daughter. However,
Elizabeth is Red's father. That will be an amazing, wild twist for the show.
What a twist!
However, he is a clone.
That's
a
right.
clone from Red's
Dun,
science
dun,
experiments.
dun.
She has a penis.
Oh, yeah.
A clone.
Excuse me, sir. Your wife has a penis.
I never noticed. Oh.
Exactly. It's the clone project. That's what you see.
Oh my god.
All right, so you're
So-
thinking that Elizabeth is Reddington's daughter and
A clone.
a clone. She's a
Yes.
clone.
Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun.
I think you're both fucking nuts, Charles. Johan,
Well, you know.
do you have anything?
Well, you know, they do seem
Red
pretty obsessed with
Reddington
adopting
is
kids.
Elizabeth Keene's father,
That's it?
and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I know. I got a weak speculation. Sue me.
No, maybe Elizabeth Keene being Red
Oh,
Reddington's
how
father.
wild. You're so wild and crazy, Charles. I bet you're tearing up hotel rooms.
No, maybe that's why they want to adopt Elizabeth Keene and her husband want to adopt a kid because he knows that she's really a man.
And
This
that's
is a
your wild
clone.
speculation, huh?
It's a
A
penis.
clone with a penis. No.
Wow, we're so awful.
All right, my wild
Wow.
speculation.
Yes,
wild-
no, the
Go
original
ahead.
Elizabeth Keene died, and they took her DNA and cloned her. But when they cloned her, they accidentally gave her a penis.
Exactly, Metal Gear Solid.
And it is all discovered in an unfortunate dining room accident where her and her husband are out for a wonderful dinner. The waiter trips over a fold in the carpet, spills a tray of drinks, lands right into her crotch, gets hit in the eye with her dick, pops up and says, "Excuse me, sir, your wife has a penis." Is that what you're telling me, Johan?
Oh, that would be epic.
Oh, I
God.
got a wild speculation out there. They're going to
Please, because I want to stop talking about
Because
Elizabeth
Tom
Keene's
Keene's
penis
brother.
already.
What'd you say?
Like the episode Todd the Book of Pure Evil where you're like, Fudanari, man.
No,
say that?
hold on. Stop that, Todd and the Eatable Books. What are you talking about, Matt Moore?
I'm saying that they're going to adopt because Tom Keene is actually her brother.
No, because that's just creepy, and
Dun,
Network
dun,
TV is not going to
dun.
do incest. They were showering while those perverts watched in this episode.
Exactly,
They were
we're
showering
still
together.
watching
Right.
them. They need to get a
Have
life
you
or
not seen
something.
Game of Thrones?
That's
No.
different. That's different. That's way different. It's so different.
That'd be
Yeah,
fucked up.
incest is okay on HBO. Everywhere else, no.
All right.
Oh no, they had it on American Horror Story.
That's different though too.
Veering
That's
No,
shocking,
no,
man.
no. You can't
Veering
say it's
off-
different.
go ahead.
Every case is different.
Hey, look, that's a Game of Thrones was art. American Horror Stories is just shock value.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, veering away from incest, my wild speculation is, as I said before, there are three brothers. Red, her father, or her adopted father, and a third one. The daughters are daughters of the
Reddington.
the third brother.
Reddington.
Excuse me. Who is maybe perhaps the worst terrorist in the world, and that's why Reddington had to steal his nieces from his older brother and give them to the younger brother, and Reddington then set forth to defeat his older brother before he could ever harm his nieces.
Wait, one thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but during the first episode, when Reddington first showed up to the FBI and they started doing a background check on him, they showed that Reddington used to have a wife and children, and then he just up and left during some Christmas holiday, and
Yes,
he was never
because
heard from again.
His brother killed his own family. His brother stole his family away from him, and that's why he knows his brother would harm his own children, and that's why he stole his brother's children and gave them to his other brother.
I still say that
Yeah.
those two girls were Elizabeth Keene and her now deceased sister. I don't think there's a third. Or
I'm
maybe
saying
there is.
cousin.
I don't know.
That's a really big stretch there with a whole 360.
Andrew Dice Clay is Elizabeth Keene's father.
Oh!
Whoa!
Now there's just
Hickory
speculation.
dickory dock. My daughter was sitting on my.
All right, here we go. We're gonna end this one with the greatest Andrew Dice Clay joke. What's the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer?
What?
The taste.
Oh.
That was classic.
And that's
Yeah.
it. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
No.
Little
Yeah,
boy
I just want
Blue.
to say that
He needed the
the
money.
next episode doesn't look like it's good. Don't
Nope.
think it's going to be as awesome as this one was.
Oh, so you saw the preview for next week. You watched it. Matthew.
Matthew?
No, I heard stories, but the stories make it it's going to be very good,
I don't know.
but not as good as this past one was.
You might be right, because I think I got a little bit of a strange erection when I thought it was Ben Kingsley, and now that I know it's not, it's gone a bit soft since. So
It's limp like a noodle.
yeah, it's like a noodle. And with that, me and my noodly penis bid you all farewell, guys. You all done?
Yep,
Yep.
we're good.
Goodbye.
Well, good night to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.